What's happening? Hey. All right, so I was watching this show on Discovery Channel today about rare births. I don't know if you guys saw it. They had these rare births. So they had these two chicks on there that were stuck together at the head. How do you guys see them? They're two sisters, right? Obviously, they're not fucking neighbors or anything. They're stuck together at the head. They're conjoined twins. And if you haven't seen them, they're kind of famous. They've been around for a while. Let me say, one is like normal size. Like she's pretty normal, other than, you know, having a sister on her head. She's pretty fucking normal, right? And the other one is like half size, and they keep her on a tray attached to a chair. And she is a country singer. And I'm thinking to myself, how bad would that suck? To be attached to a country singer, right? I mean, that's gotta be horrible. Can you imagine? She's got a record contract coming out. She's in the studio like 10, 12 hours a day just singing her ass off. If you were the other one, wouldn't you be like, can you please stop already? The song is stuck in our head. I wonder if she does a cover of You Were Always on My Mind. That's what I want to know. I like how people groan. People always groan like, oh, man. They're like 40-some years old, and they've had a sister on their head for 40-some years. There's nothing I can say that they haven't heard, or no look they haven't gotten, right? Think about it. 40 years with a sister on your head? That didn't happen at 35. It wasn't like a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup commercial where they're walking down the street and they poof, run into each other. Hey, you got your sister and my sister. No, they were born that way. It's not like a mole or like a zit. You can't pop it. That's a sister. Granted, it's a half-sister, but it's still a sister, right? It's a legal term, half-sister never removed. That's what it's called. It's interesting because I was watching because the big one was going on a date. So I guess they were technically both going out on a date, but the big one was the dating one. And I'm like, I don't want to hear about their dating life from them. I want to hear about their dating life from the guy they're dating. How'd the date go? I don't know, it was pretty good. We went out to dinner, got some drinks, went back to her house, got heads. It was awesome. You had heads? Get heads. The little one, though, they asked the question, the little one, that I thought was kind of interesting. Like, they said, you know what? You know, the heartwarming moment. Like, this is incredible. Like, you're a country singer, and you're this big, and you live on a tray, and you stuck it out for 40 years, and you became a country singer. That's incredible. Like, what perseverance? What spirit? Like, what kept you going all these years? And she goes, well, you know what? It was something that my mom always told me when I was a little kid. She goes, when I was growing up, my mom always told me, you know what? You can be whatever you want when you grow up. And I thought, that's cute. That's nice. But, no, you can't. Right? I mean, you can't be a loner. Right? I mean, that's just a math problem right there. You couldn't be a motorcycle racer, right? No. Not unless you have a really high sidecar and a fucked up looking helmet. You do have limitations, okay? I'm not saying don't dream. Dream big. But know your limitations, right? The twin thing freaks a lot of people out. The conjoined twins kind of creeps people out a little bit. I have to admit, the creepiest twins, in my opinion, the creepiest type of twin is the comedy twin. Oh, yeah. They're creepy. Because they have that ESP, they always know exactly what horrible joke the next one's going to say right before they say it. Alrighty. I watched a lot of documentary stuff. I read a lot too. I read, though, I don't read novels, I don't read fiction books. I like to read a lot of nonfiction. My favorite subject is religion. So I guess you could say I read nonfiction books about fictional books. It's about as close as I come. And I was at the bookstore, I saw a book called Fundamentalist Christianity for Dummies, and I thought, oh, the irony. My friend and I, I've got a friend who's like a big Christian, and we got in an argument about Richard Dawkins, about the God delusion, right? And he was like, oh, I can't believe you like that guy. That guy, it's just garbage. That guy doesn't say anything. He's an idiot. That guy's an idiot. Like, you may not agree with it, but he's not an idiot. He's like a, incredible biologist. He's a genetics professor. He's one of the premier evolutionary biologists. You may not agree with him, but he's not an idiot. He's like, oh, that guy's a moron. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't say anything that hasn't been said a million times. And I'm like, I would like to hear one rebuttal from you. Just one. Like the guy makes 100 good points in his book. Just give me one. Pick one and tell me how you would refute it. I would love to hear this. And I go, just pick one of the arguments, the one that you thought was the easiest one, go. And he goes, well, I haven't read the book. And I go, wow, that's interesting. A Christian who has fervent beliefs about a book he's never actually read. Interesting. Yes. I actually have read the Bible. It was I read the Bible. That's what I wanted to be when I was in college, before I had the brilliant idea of doing comedy instead of finishing college. I was studying anthropology, and I wanted to do biblical anthropology. And it's funny, I'm not convinced by the miracles in the Bible. Right? Like, look, basic one. Jesus turned water into wine. That's a miracle. Let's see. He took the one substance that we all need for life. Every living thing on the planet needs. The lifeblood of the earth, if you will. And a group of people in the desert, and turned theirs into alcohol. Brilliant move. What's next? Celery into cigarettes? What is this? Party Jesus? What is he? Living in Jerusalem or in a dorm room in San Diego State? What is this? Gotta come to Jesus' dorm. It's gonna be off the hook, dude. It's top secret. You don't even tell me what's going on. All he said is bring your bong and some wheat bread. And then he said we're going to party like it's 99, whatever the fuck that means. How about the modern miracles? Anybody convinced by the modern miracles? The Catholic Church, everything is a miracle with the Catholic Church, right? They have this guy had a serape or something, and he opened it up and some flowers fell out, and there was like right, the picture of the Virgin. Yeah, exactly. That's a miracle. There was a guy that had a grilled cheese sandwich and the burnt areas looked like kind of like Jesus to him. That's a miracle. Really? I don't know about you, but for me, if you're going to convince me, it takes a lot more compelling evidence than a grilled Jesus. All right? I don't know. They have a doll, not a doll, like a statue of the Virgin Mary that cries tears. That's another miracle. Have you seen that one? Cries tears. It's like down in Central America. Yeah. In the 70s, my sister had a doll that cried tears. It also shit on itself and pissed on itself, right? We didn't have 10,000 El Salvadorians hanging out of the front doorstep trying to cop a peek, all right? Oh my God, it's a miracle. No, it's baby alive, all right? I don't know. My friend gives me shit. My friend's like, dude, you better not keep talking that shit, dude. It's like, you're going to get, that's blasphemous. You're going to get, you have to pay for that later on. Like that's my problem. That's my problem. That's all my problem in life is all my bad luck, all my misfortune is just God punishing me for knowing He doesn't exist. That's interesting. Yeah, I just don't like, I guess, people who are holier than thou or whatever. I don't know. Just self-righteous people in general. I have 3 dogs in my house, and the other day I was. My dogs were barking like crazy, and it was driving me nuts, and I went outside. I kind of snapped, but I went outside, and I'm like, dogs, please, shut the fuck up, or I'm going to punch you in your fucking head. And my neighbor from across the fence goes, hey. Dude, that's a little bit harsh, don't you think? I'm like, well, I'm not actually going to fucking punch the dog in the head. I was just saying. And he goes, yeah, I know. But still, don't you think that's a little bit abusive? A little verbally abusive? It's a dog, okay? I don't think the dog quite understands what I'm saying. What am I emotionally scarring my dog? Am I going to come out in a week and the dog's going to be wearing a short skirt and too much eye makeup and hanging around with Rottweilers? What am I doing to my dog exactly? Yeah, I don't know. My dog had to get the surgery. Well, it had the hip dysplasia. And I didn't know what to do. My friend said, oh, you got to take it to the Holistic Pet Center. They're pretty good over there at the Holistic Pet Center. So I took her in, and I said, so what are we going to do here? And she said, well we're going to start with some massage therapy, and then some hot and cold stones on there, and then we'll finish off with acupuncture, and that should clear it up. And I go, wow, that's pretty interesting. I'm like, just a quick question. What if I were to bring in a cow with its exact same symptoms? What would you do with a cow? And she goes, I don't get it. I don't know. I don't follow. What are you saying? I'm like, well, I'm just wondering, like, it just seems a little unethical to feed a cow bullshit. What would you? So I took her to the real doctor, and the surgeon, and there's they have the surgeon told me it was going to be $12,000. $12,000 for full hip replacement surgery on a dog. $12,000. Yeah. Now, I was thinking to myself, like, I may be an atheist, but when it comes to $12,000 dog surgery, I am a devout Christian Scientist. All right? Yeah. Who am I to question God's plans for my dog? All right? Maybe that dog would be walking a lot better if it just had a little bit more faith. That's all I'm saying. Hey, folks, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.